If you have 3 or more planets in the same sign, it's very likely that you have a stellium in your chart. Basically, a stellium means that you have 3 or more planets placed within the same house. Stelliums can tell us what area of our lives are going to be more important than others, but it's also a really good way to look at your chart because we know that our first house is technically our ruler. It's the lens we see our houses through. But if you have a stellium, that means that there's a house in your chart that has an extreme emphasis that the other ones don't. Stelliums don't always pertain to one house, and it just depends on the signs that you have in your chart, but there are people out there that have multiple stelliums, and it just depends on how many planets you have in the same sign. For example, I am a Moon Aquarius, Neptune Aquarius, and Uranus Aquarius, and although stelliums usually pertain to personal planets more than anything, because I have my moon sign wrapped up in my Aquarius stellium, it does emphasize my 4th house of family and home for me. With my Aquarius stellium in my 4th house, that means that I had a really hard time feeling like I was accepted as a kid. It's very possible that I experienced childhood trauma that made me feel unique from other people, and it's my responsibility to overcome my 4th house. To give an example of someone who has 2 stelliums within their chart, I have a friend who has an Aries stellium and an Aquarius stellium. His Aries stellium consists of his Sun, Mercury, Mars, and Saturn, and then his Aquarius stellium consists of his Venus, Neptune, and Uranus. His Aries stellium falls within his 10th house, and that means that his ego, the way he communicates, his drive, and also his discipline are all going to tie together and make him more successful when it comes to the career that he'd like to pursue. As for his Aquarius stellium, that falls within his 8th house, and the 8th house rules over our more taboo parts of ourselves. It can tell us about the kinds of partners we attract and tells us about our transformation that we will make throughout our lifetime. So that means his Venus, his personal relationships, his Uranus, his individuality, and Neptune, his imagination, are all going to play a part in him overcoming his 8th house. Comment below if you have a stellium and list the planets and the house that it falls within.